Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bahashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them. Taught us his truth, and shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing word in truth and in sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm a brother Yahshua with a quick lesson today, and this lesson is going to deal with deception. All right, we're going to start right here at Matthew 24 and 3. And the disciples are going to come and ask Yahushua here, right, about the end of the world as we know it and when he's coming back and the signs that are going to indicate that. All right. So Matthew 24 and 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Now, the very first thing that he says, right, sets the table for everything that'll come after. All right? This is setting the precedent. And Yahushua answered and said unto them this, Take heed that no man deceive you. Even before we get down here, all right, let's deal with this. Deception. Let's read that in a couple of different versions. Yahushua said, Watch out that no one deceives you. Don't let anyone mislead you. What does this mean? That means that everybody's going to be out there with deception. Everything. Everyone. All right? It's going to be a time of great deception. When? Now. Okay? See that no one leads you astray. See to it that no one deceives you. Take heed lest anyone mislead you. Okay? See to it that no one misleads you. Okay? Be careful that no one misleads you, deceiving you and leading you into error. This is the most important thing of this time, deception. All right? Watch out. Take heed. Beware that no man will deceive you. Don't let anyone fool you. So you have to question everything. Take heed that no man seduce you. Watch out, do not let anyone fool you, lead you astray, deceive you. Okay? Get it? All right, so from there, all right, now let's go to the next things. Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a... Hey, even though I'm an Israelite with fringes on, we got to have a pre-Passover party, right? That's deception. A pre-Passover party at a solemn assembly? No. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So this ain't the end. They're going to say, hey, it's the end. We're fighting each other, just like it said. We're at the end. No. Take heed that you're not fooled, because that's going to be the order of the day. So let's watch some of this. Now, listen to Julian Assange. He's going to break it all the way down about wars and rumors of war. Why? Why is it this way? All right, let's listen to this. And this is Luke Radowski's channel. Let me see. We Are Change channel, March 10th. I believe today is the 11th. Bombshell. This just changed everything. We're going to listen to what Assange says, and then we'll go to something else, because something's going on here. All right? All right, listen to
Is that nearly every war that has started in the past 50 years has been a result of media lie.
And there it is. Let no man deceive you. All right. Is there actually a war going on? Or what's really going on? We'll check the scriptures and see what's going on.
The media could have stopped it if they'd searched deep enough, if they hadn't reprinted government propaganda.
Propaganda. Everything you see on the television, everything you read in the so-called newspapers, all right, what is this devil really up to? These are Edomites. Are Edomites out killing other Edomites? There might be some collateral damage to get to their goal, to fool everybody. And we got to kill some people on both sides to make this thing seem real.
But what does that mean? Well, that means basically populations don't like wars. And populations have to be fooled into war.
There it is. Weapons of mass destruction. They're building chemical weapons. They have race-specific chemical weapons that they're coming after the Russians, the Slavs. That's not what the scriptures say.
Populations don't willingly and with open eyes go into a war. So if we have a good media environment, then we'll also have a peaceful environment. But our number one enemy is ignorance. And I believe that is the number one enemy of everyone, is not understanding what is actually going on in the world. It's only when you start to understand that you can make effective decisions and effective plans. Now, the question is, who is promoting ignorance?
The devil. And the question is, what is the mystery of iniquity?
Well, those organizations that try to keep them secret, and those organizations which distort true information to make it false. So the result is we see wars and we see corrupt governments continue.
I do have...
Okay, so good enough. And go watch that because he set that up perfectly. All right, so basically everything is fake from the top down. All right, well, let's see what is fake from the top down. Let's investigate. Let's start here. It's a lot. This is some damn commercial. That's what this is. WTVR CBS 6. White House warns Russia may use chemical weapons in Ukraine. Is that right? Well, I thought that Russia went into the Ukraine and found a bunch of chemical labs. So which one is it? All right. Let's find out. Psaki.
Okay. There's growing concern that Russia could possibly use chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine.
Would President Biden let a chemical weapons attack in Ukraine go unanswered by the United States?
We have not let anything go unanswered to date, any steps that President Putin has taken to date. What that would look like, I can't give you an assessment of that from here.
There's also growing international outrage over suspected war crimes by Russia, a day after the attack on the maternity and children's hospital in Mariupol killed at least 3, including a child. The director of national intelligence told lawmakers the U.S. is documenting Russia's actions.
Do you remember the baby being pulled off the respirator? Baby being pulled out of the incubator for the last set of wars or whatever? That story turned out to be fake. This is all propaganda. Okay? Same playbook, same shit. Weapons of mass destruction, chemical weapons. That's how they went into Iraq. This is the same thing.
Military has begun to loosen its rules of engagement to achieve their military objectives.
A U.S. official also says Russian forces could still encircle the capital of Kyiv in the next couple of weeks if they're willing to grind through significant Ukrainian resistance. It's estimated up to 6,000 Russian forces have already been killed in action.
President Putin does not have a sustainable endgame in Ukraine right now.
The White House says the president is ready to sign a massive assistance package for Ukraine as soon as it arrives to his desk. The House-passed bill includes $13.6 billion in humanitarian, defense, and economic aid. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he hopes the Senate will take up the measure as soon as tonight.
The United States and the people around the world are going to continue to support the Ukrainian people, I believe, as they defend their country.
More than 2 million people have now fled Ukraine, many women and children. Vice President Harris and her predecessor, former Vice President Mike Pence, both in Poland today, met with some of the refugees there.
What is Pence doing over there? I thought you were done. Okay, so what does this mean? What does this phrase mean? Good cop, bad cop. What does that mean? That means your ass is in the interrogation room and two cops that are on the same side. One is the good cop, one is the bad cop, and they're after the same thing. They're after your ass. One is going to treat you nicely, one is going to treat you badly. Okay? One is the bad guy, the other's the good guy, but they're on the same team. Not your team. Okay? You got to keep that in mind. Who is the target? It's usually a Jake sitting in that chair, cuffed to the table. All right? Now we're going to watch this. All right? Gravitas, Russia claims U.S. running biolabs. Well, what was this? White House warns Russia may use chemical. So Russia right now is playing the role of bad guy. White House, we're the good guys. They're the bad guys. But guess what? They're on the same team. What are we dealing with? Chemical weapons. Biolabs. Who are you making? What, Russia didn't know that right next door they're mixing up chemicals? Who are they mixing up chemicals for? Let's watch this and then we'll get to that. Probably a commercial first. Yep. Cool. Come on.
Russia and Ukraine have launched a volley of claims and counterclaims. It's becoming impossible, really, to verify any of it.
What did she say? Let's watch that again. Wars and rumors of chemical wars.
Russia and Ukraine have launched a volley of claims and counterclaims. It's becoming impossible, really, to verify any of it. The latest allegation is this: bioweapons. Russia claims it has uncovered 30 biolabs in Ukraine, 30 biolabs in Ukraine. What happened to these labs? What happened at these labs, rather? According to Russia, weaponization. They were making biological weapons. They claim America was developing bioweapons in Ukraine. Listen to this.
It is obvious that in the wake of the special military operation, the Pentagon started having serious concerns about secret biological experiments uncovered on the Ukrainian territory. The uncovered documents confirm that components for chemical weapons were developed in Ukrainian biolabs in immediate proximity to Russia.
That is a serious allegation. Before we examine it, let me give you some background, in fact. What is a bioweapon? It can be a toxin or a deadly pathogen, basically something that attacks humans from the inside. How are bioweapons deployed? Just like any other weapon, you can use missiles, grenades, or rockets. Are they legal? Well, absolutely not. Multiple conventions ban the development and use of bioweapons. The most important one is the BWC of 1975. BWC is the Biological Weapons Convention.
Okay, so we can watch the rest of this, right? But all it is a disinformation campaign. They're letting you know, hey, guess what? We're making weapons. Race-specific bioweapons, right? And they're leaving out the Snake Island incident completely. Let's see if we can find anything. Snake Island. Rabies. Snake Island rabies. Bio. Race. How about this? Race? I'm going to get in trouble for this one. Where's DuckDuckGo when you need race? specific bio weapon. Okay, let's see what we get. Let's see what comes up. 2 years ago, 1 year ago. This is all bullshit. Nuclear or biological weapons. 3 days ago. Republic. Iguana chased by killer snakes. 4 years, 10 months. A year, 2 years, 2 years, nothing. Okay? Except for that one thing in there. See? Here's what they're hiding anyway. They're hiding Snake Island, rabies, bioweapon, race-specific bioweapon, right? How else are we going to get zombies? How do you get zombies? Rabies. Did the CDC not prepare for zombies? Or am I making that up? All right, so let's see what this is real quick. 3 days ago. See if they say anything of value. Whatever. No, they're not going to say anything on this.
The UK's Defence Ministry has said that since the end of February, there have been notable intensification of Russian accusations that Ukraine is developing nuclear or biological weapons. These narratives are long-standing but are currently likely being amplified as part of a retrospective justification for Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Let's go across to Crispino for more on this. Crispino, give us more details of what the UK has said.
Yes, what we are learning right now is that the United Kingdom's Defense Ministry is saying that Russia is simply accusing Ukraine of developing biological weapons, bio-warfare. Now,
but the United States and the West admitted to having weapons labs in the Ukraine just recently.
Also today, we had seen some of these accusations also being leveled by Russia in that context. Russia says that Ukraine is developing biological weapons on its border. And perhaps this, the United Kingdom is saying they're using this as a justification. Now, Ukraine has been slamming Russia for its lies. They're saying it's just part of a war propaganda because they are running out of excuses with regards to their invasion continuing on day 13, because earlier what we had seen, they had used the excuse of the Donbas regions, the two breakaway regions, and which is why they entered Ukraine. And apart from the litany of accusations, here we are looking at a mega face-off over the biological warfare.
And what I can tell you is that it suits Putin's agenda to try to characterize this as a struggle between the West and Russia. And it suits his agenda to say that the UK, that we in NATO countries are anti-Russian, or European countries are now anti-Russian.
You're not anti-Russian, and it suits. Here, Putin's objective is your objective. That's what this says. No, you're not anti-Russian. You guys are all on the same team. And we can clearly see that. All right. So let me go into something different here and see if I can pull it out on Google, which I probably can't. But let's see if we can anyway. Snake Island. Race specific bio weapon rabies. Let's see what comes up here. 2019, 02, nothing, huh? I should go to DuckDuckGo. Come on. Seeds of destruction. Let's do that. Let's go to DuckDuckGo. Let's type that in here. What is it? Snake Island. I heard that DuckDuckGo is compromised now anyway. Putin tells Trump, we're burning, what? We're burning the trash. Okay, see? The airborne rabies lab on Snake Island were reported to be totally incinerated. So let's, real news, let's read this. Okay, now this is one thing. Is Putin targeting U.S. bioweapons labs in Ukraine? Yeah, there are weapons labs in the Ukraine. They admitted to it, okay? But this is what we're looking for right here. Let's look at this. Okay, real raw news. See if it comes up. Come on. Look. That idiots are attacking me. All right. Putin tells Trump we're burning the trash. Biolaboratories destroyed. All right, let's read this. Real Raw News by Michael Baxter, February 25th, 2022. This is a little while back. Vladimir Putin has kept frequent contact with Donald J. Trump as Russian soldiers, aircraft, and warships continue to bombard eastern Ukraine, targeting not civilian but Western-sponsored bioweapons labs that zigzag the countryside like a child's connect the dots puzzle, a Mar-a-Lago source told Real Raw News. Our source emphasizes he's reporting only what Putin has told Trump. He is not attesting to the veracity of Putin's statements, and Trump, he said, has yet to independently verify Putin's claim. On Thursday, Trump reportedly took a third telephone call from Putin and was told the Russian military had obliterated 13 bioweapons facilities across Ukraine. Some were subterranean and struck several times to ensure their destruction. Putin contended the West, the American NIH, France's Institute of Health and Medical Research, and Germany's Center for Infection Research had funneled billions of dollars into the labs under the pretense of research grants. He claimed to have evidence which he would eventually make public when the world is willing to listen. According to Putin, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky knew about the laboratories and had received kickbacks in exchange for letting them operate clandestinely and without official oversight. Putin told Trump he gave Zelensky many warnings to dismantle the labs as far back as February 2020, and warned he'd do it himself if Zelensky did not comply. He admitted to minor collateral damage, but told Trump that Zelensky had only himself to blame for putting the people of the Ukraine in danger, our source said. Putin also name-dropped Israel. He said that the Israeli Health Ministry and the Mossad ran a biolab on Snake Island. So there, right there, is Amalek doing what? Doing what? Ran a biolab on Snake Island, a landmass that belonged to Ukraine, located in the Black Sea near Danabe Delta, with an important role in delimiting Ukrainian territorial waters. Okay, on Thursday, Russian Slava class, see that word, Slava? which means slave, or Slovakian cruiser approached Snake Island and warned the inhabitants to surrender at once or be fired on. We are a Russian warship proposing you put down arms to avoid bloodshed and unjustified deaths. In worst case, you will be hit with a bomb strike. The Russian warning continued for 5 minutes. The occupants replied, "F you, Russian warship." The Slava cruiser opened fire, pummeling and grazing the island's structures until only dust and rubble were left in the wake of the attack. There were no survivors. Putin said to Trump that the biolab on Snake Island had been involved in researching a weaponized type of airborne rabies. This is what we're looking for. That, if aerosolized, could ravage the earth with nearly a 100% mortality rate. Where do you get your zombies from? The CDC knows about the zombies. He assured Trump he'd taken precautions to guarantee all pathogens were hit hard and effective enough to render them inert. No. What you did is you went in there and you secured them, or they handed them over, and now you're moving to the next wave of your campaign. And I'll show you that in the scriptures very shortly. All right? He wouldn't say if he used thermobaric ordnance, but that seems a likely possibility, our source said. Make no mistake, President Trump, we're not hitting cities. If we were, more than one building in Kiev would be hit and there'd be no electricity, no water, or nothing. We're burning the trash, Putin purportedly told Trump. Now that makes sense because that's what's going on over there. They're not hitting cities. Okay, now this was early on. This was in February, late February. We're a couple of weeks away from that now. The RRN is an independent publisher that relies on reader support, real raw news. We fight for the truth, da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. All right, so, hey, what does this mean? Let's read this again. Putin said to Trump, letting you know that if you can read through this, right, what does this mean? Russia and America are on the same side. That the biolab on Snake Island had been involved in, they're letting us know what they're up to. Weaponized type of airborne rabies that if aerosolized, all right, so they went over there and taken it to the next lab or whatever, they're just letting us know, could have ravaged the earth with nearly a 100% mortality rate. That's what they're doing. Now, who are they doing that to? Okay? Don't be deceived. See, we got that eye salve. We can see exactly what's going on. How can we see it? Most High put us upon game. Where's the conspiracy? Oh, you gonna stop me, huh? You gonna stop me? Look at this. There we go. All right. Psalm 83. Who's on whose side? Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Who that hate you? The tabernacles of Edom, Ishmael, Moab, Hagarenes. All right. They, who's they? The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes and Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines and the inhabitants. Okay. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Who are the bioweapons for? The race-specific bioweapons are for who? They're going to turn everybody into zombies. Why? Because they're coming after Israel, the Israelites, and consulted against thy hand. Vladimir is confederate with Trump, with Biden, with Zelensky. They're all together. They have said, come and let us. They're all together. cut them off from being a nation. Let's put that rabies on their ass. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. Vladimir is together with Biden. Vladimir is together with Zelensky. They are working on a bioweapon against who? Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They are confederate against thee. Who? Edom, Amalek, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Africans. Okay? Let's look at this again. Let's look at this. Come, they say, let us destroy them as a nation. How? We got some motherfucking rabies for you. Let us wipe out Israel as what does it mean to wipe them off the face of the map? Wipe them out as let us erase them as a nation. Let us cut them off from being a nation. Wipe them out. Wipe them out. Wipe them out. Okay? We know. Most High put us up on game. All right? Let us destroy them. Cut them off. Wipe them out. Let us annihilate them so that they are no longer a nation. All right? So, let us go back to Matthew 24, where we started. And what's the most important thing that Yahushua said to look out for? Okay? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Right? All these things don't mean anything. All right, here comes the deception, wars and rumors of wars. That's not what they're up to. That's not their plan. The Most High is going to make them fight each other. But right now, they got a scheme. All these things must come to pass. What? Nation against nation. Hey, we're fighting each other. Kingdom against kingdom. Famines. You manufactured that. You manufactured the pestilence. You got an earthquake machine. These are just the signs that we're close to the end. But the end is not yet. All right, we got to go through these things. And yes, the Most High is going to turn them into reality. He is going to make them fight against each other. But right now, guess who they're coming after? All right? Take heed that no man deceive you. So with that, we hope that the elect were edified and shalom.